Mike, you know what time it is?
It's 4:36! Wait a second! It's daylight savings time! It's 9:38!
Why you like this? Why you like this? It's Morphin Time!
Tequila power!
Too many bottles of Jameson, small enough to get through a quart-sized Ziploc bag to get through TSA airport security. Power!
Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go,
Fuck you,
Power
Rita.
Rangers!
Sword on!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Whiskey Business, the only YouTube channel that tells you exactly how drunk you have to be to see a movie. Today we're talking about Power Rangers.
Woo!
Fucking 90s, yo! Power Rangers tells the story of a group of teenagers with attitude that get superpowers to fight giant Japanese monsters with robot dinosaurs.
What could go wrong?
Almost nothing in my eyes.
You five are the Power Rangers.
Did I just hear you say we're Power Rangers?
Is this some kind of joke? We're talking to a wall.
I was kind of expecting a little more. Growing up, Power Rangers was my shit, okay? I still have a box of Power Ranger toys in my dad's attic. My life was Power Rangers. When I was 7 years old, I thought I was the Green Ranger. I got that fucking dagger flute, and I was fucking playing that shit. I was outside on the streets fighting monsters.
Who'd have think a flute could be dangerous?
It's a dagger flute, okay?
Okay, oh my bad.
Okay?
A short little
You
knife.
don't fucking understand it.
A tiny little knife.
It's a flute with blades on the side.
Okay, alright.
Don't.
I'll take your word for it.
Just don't.
I'll just take your word for it.
It's summon a dragon.
With a flute?
Yeah. The dragon, he go. "Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo," and a fucking dragon would come out of the ocean
I get that.
and he'd ride it.
I'm just saying, if I was in a fight with somebody and the guy whipped out a flute,
Okay.
I'm just saying.
It's a dagger flute. I appreciate if you acknowledge the dagger part of it. Okay, you can't just keep saying flute because there's a dagger part of it. Imagine your iPod can also stab someone. Huh? Power Rangers, the new movie, sponsored by Krispy Kreme.
Ooh.
Sponsored by Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme, they dropped some serious dough in this movie, okay? Because the whole finale revolves around them protecting a Krispy Kreme fucking restaurant. I bought this as a joke because I wanted to show just like, hey, let's have a Krispy Kreme donut box because they say it so much. And I went there and there's a goddamn Power Ranger logo on the fucking box. And the motherfuckers, they sell fucking Power Ranger goddamn donuts
Look at that.
with a fucking lightning bolt on them. And it's like, I make fun of it, but I bought them, so it worked.
She bought all of them too.
It
It's like,
worked.
Here, take my money.
It's like, God, that's so shameless. Krispy Kreme plugs. I should go buy a dozen donuts. This movie added so much mythos to this whole storyline. They spent some time thinking about an actual story of how this all progressed, and I really appreciated it. The characters in this movie are so much better than the ones in the TV show.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they actually did a surprisingly good job of developing. Every single character has a different personality. Watching them train, watching them go through their shit. And I know it's fucking stupid. I know it's all teenage dumb drama, Dawson's Creek bullshit. But that's what the show was about. So they captured that perfectly. It's not, I don't even have a problem with it being too much teenage angst. Because even as I was watching, like, this is kind of over the top. And I think about it, like, but this is what the show is about. So
Yeah.
you did it.
I gotta say, I was past the Power Rangers time. I grew up in the whole Ninja Turtles and Ghostbuster era, so I get all crazy and nostalgic about that. I saw Power Rangers because it was just happened to be on, but I didn't love it very much. And I gotta tell you what Josh was saying about what they changed and the adaptation of the mythos that they came about was great. It was very good acting for all these young actors and actresses.
Yeah, surprising.
Yeah, and then Billy, of course, like stole the movie because he was literally the best.
I know some people will have a problem because this movie is mostly centered around the Power Rangers training to be Power Rangers. They are not Power Rangers until the very last scene of this movie. There's the last maybe 20 minutes is actually Power Rangers action. Everything else is teenagers who are trying to figure out how to be Power Rangers. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed watching them just train, watching them go through their shit, watching them bond. The back and forth between everyone was very good. It seemed like they all really knew each other. They all were bonding and friends. It wasn't awkward. If you are a child in the 90s and you grew up watching Power Rangers and you grew up going to Toys R Us at 8:30 in the morning to wait for them to open the door so you get more Power Ranger toys.
To buy a flute.
This movie will check all the boxes, and I won't lie, at the end of this movie, when they were all suited up in full Power Ranger regalia, they're fighting putty monsters, and they're kicking the shit out of things, I was smiling as much in this movie as I was smiling when the Avengers grouped up at the end of the first Avengers. I know it's fucking crazy. I know it doesn't make any sense. Even I'm surprised. I was just like, they get all the Zords together and they play the fucking Go Go Power Rangers. I almost stood up. It's like, fuck yeah! This is what I'm talking about. This is my life.
Clap. What really helped the movie for me is they made Alpha 5 good. Like,
Yeah.
and that was the thing. That was probably the one aspect of the movie I was most concerned about, is because Bryan Cranston as Zordon. I mean, come on, that's gonna be a win right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
can't
that just fits perfectly, right?
Yeah.
But Alpha 5, if you look at Alpha 5, the TV show Power Rangers, man, and then trying to pull that off in a movie, like live action movie, and they did it. They did it, and it was awesome.
Imagine if they could take the action of Pacific Rim and the story of this movie and mash them together.
Oh,
Game over, bro.
man.
Because I love Pacific Rim, but the characters in that movie were like very, very thin.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of personality in there. But these characters had so much personality, but the action wasn't really quite amazing.
Right.
But you mix them together. Dude.
Yeah. I'm really excited if they make another Power Rangers movie, because then all of a sudden we're going to open up to the Power Rangers pretty much knowing their powers.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a full movie of them, training and
Yeah.
whatnot. And then it's literally going to be action-packed.
Some people are complaining because there's not a lot of action. But if you think of this in terms of like a superhero origin movie, it's like pretty on par with what usually happens. I'd say if I have any negatives, is the design of the Zords is fucking terrible. These dinosaurs look like shit. There's no way that anyone would even understand what the fuck any of these things are supposed to be unless you are a fan of the show, or if you like picked up an action figure, like, oh, that's what it is. Because they never give a full establishing shot of like showing a wide shot of the Zords standing. It's always like, it's kind of like semi-close, and they're moving around quick. Like, they ran out of money toward the end of this movie. They said, let's make the Megazord like a guy wearing silver, and Goldar is gonna be a melting candle.
Yeah.
And they'll fight for 4 seconds at the end. So that was disappointing.
I did think there was a couple scenes that were a little cheesy, but it didn't bother me too much, because I realized, like, wait a second, this is an adaptation of a 90s TV show,
Yeah.
so obviously, it's gonna be a little cheesy in some parts.
Yeah. My review, and this is coming from just pure nostalgia, pure unadulterated, completely saturated, just fucking loaded on nostalgia of someone who grew up with this shit. I give this movie a sober, okay? Because I love this shit. My whole childhood was this show, and seeing this movie, like, actually care and like give some attention to detail and bring the story some like weight, I was smiling and I was fucking enjoying the shit out of this movie. Most people watch the movie and think it's dumb, and I know I'm way biased, but you know, fuck you. I had a good time, so fuck it.
So I have to admit the nostalgia wasn't as deep for me as it was for Josh. I'm giving this movie a buzzed. I definitely enjoyed watching this movie. It was very entertaining. It had a lot of ups and downs, and I love the depth that each character had, and it just worked out really well. I hope they make a number 2. I definitely feel
Like
that
a
they're
shit?
going to.
Like a doo-doo?
No.
Like a poop?
Like a,
Like a mega poop?
it's gonna be like Goldar.
Let's go! Go!
This is your time.
Cheers, until next time. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, spread it around.
Spread it like herpes.